Welcome to this explainer. Okay, picture this. You open your mail, or maybe you log into your account, you look at your monthly water bill, and your jaw just drops. I mean, we're talking a massive spike in charges, and you know for an absolute fact you haven't been filling up a swimming pool in your living room. Today, we are going to solve the incredibly frustrating mystery of diagnosing a sudden, unexplained spike in your water bill.
So, why did your water bill suddenly jump? It is an awful feeling, isn't it? Well, to figure it out, I want you to kind of look at this financial pain point like it's a crime scene. You've basically just been robbed, and the silent villain here is a hidden leak somewhere in your home's plumbing or drainage lines. This culprit wastes water totally quietly, draining your wallet long before the problem ever becomes obvious to the naked eye. So we're going to put on our detective hats and track this villain down together.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our detective's roadmap for today. First, the shocking water bill. Second, analyzing the bill's patterns. Third, the water meter test. Fourth, hunting for physical clues. And finally, taking action on leaks. Now, I know uncovering a complex plumbing issue sounds super intimidating, especially if you aren't exactly a DIY home improvement expert. But I want to reassure you right now, catching a hidden leak really just boils down to following this remarkably straightforward four-part methodology. You're just going to watch the bill patterns, do a quick meter test, look for specific indoor signs, and logically distinguish true leaks from your normal household usage. It's methodical, it's highly effective, and honestly, anyone can do it.
All right, step one, the shocking water bill.
This is where our mystery kicks off. To understand what we're up against, we first have to define our suspect. What actually is a hidden leak? Basically, it's a leak that seeps behind your walls, under your floors, or through those really hard-to-see connections, rather than just pooling up visibly out in the open. Our culprit doesn't always look dramatic, you know? It operates totally in the shadows of your home. You're not going to walk into a giant geyser in your kitchen. Instead, the water is escaping exactly where you aren't looking.
Moving on to step 2, analyzing the bill's patterns. Since we can't immediately see the leak with our own eyes, we've got to hit the paper trail phase of the investigation, and your water bill itself actually holds the very first major clues. If your utility company gives you metered daily or monthly usage data, you need to compare continuous use against short bursts. This perfectly highlights the difference between normal behavior and the footprint of a hidden leak. Typical household routines like grabbing a shower, doing the dishes, or running a load of laundry, those show up as short bursts of water usage. A leak, on the other hand, shows up as steady, continuous consumption that literally never stops, day or night. It doesn't match human behavior because, well, a leak doesn't sleep. So grab your current bill and start comparing it to similar billing periods over the last year to help narrow down the problem. You want to be on the lookout for some very specific red flags here. A consistent increase in usage week to week? Huge warning sign. Unusually high charges popping up in the exact same billing cycle each month? Another red flag. And honestly, the biggest giveaway is a sudden spike in usage when you absolutely haven't made any major changes, like planting new landscaping or hooking up some massive new water-heavy appliance.
Which brings us to part 3, the water meter test. Okay, paper trail reviewed. Now we introduce the stakeout portion of our investigation, where we try to literally catch this leak in the act. And this meter test is simple and incredibly reliable. Let's look at the timeline. At minute 0, your job is to completely isolate the environment. Turn off all water fixtures, inside and out. No showers, no dishwashers, no flushing toilets, no sprinklers. Total lockdown. By minute 10, start actively monitoring your home's water meter. Then, by minute 30, you're checking to see if there has been literally any movement on that meter over that set period.
And here is the absolute most crucial point. If that meter changes while everything in the house is turned off, water is moving somewhere. For a lot of homes, this is the definitive test. It confirms whether the issue is actually real before you waste a single ounce of energy tearing into specific fixtures. If that dial moves, you know for a fact you have an unauthorized draw of water.
Next up, part 4, hunting for physical clues.
Now that we've confirmed the leak exists, we take the hunt inside the home. Because these leaks are hiding, the physical signs they leave behind are super subtle, so you really have to know what to look for. Picture yourself walking through your house, especially around bathrooms, the kitchen, the water heater, or the laundry room. Are you spotting any damp drywall? What about a faint kind of musty smell? Look up, any discolored patches on the ceiling or bubbling paint on the walls? Look under your sinks. Is there persistent moisture around the supply lines or drain connections? These are the quiet little footprints our villain leaves behind.
Oh, and you definitely need to keep a very close eye on your toilets. A running toilet or one that just mysteriously refills on its own can secretly waste hundreds of gallons of water a day. If you suspect your toilet is the culprit, here is a really cool practical trick. Try a dye test. Just put a few drops of food coloring right into the toilet tank. Don't flush, just wait a bit, and see if that colored water silently seeps down into the bowl. If it does, boom, you've just caught your leak red-handed.
But hey, as any good detective knows, you've got to rule out the false alarms to avoid a wild goose chase. Not every bill increase is a hidden leak. Remember to account for seasonal irrigation, sudden changes in household occupancy, like if you had a bunch of guests staying over, or new appliances. Also, you have to consider this. If the meter is spinning but your visual checks inside the house turn up totally empty, you might be dealing with a leak in an external line or a buried pipe, and those might show literally zero visual signs until the water has been running for days.
Finally, Section 5, taking action on leaks.
This is the resolution phase, where we figure out when to call in backup. If your meter confirmed unauthorized water usage, here are your immediate next steps. Step 1. Prioritize safety and preserve evidence by reducing your water use immediately and jot down exactly when the bill changes started. Step 2. If you can do it safely, check common failure points, like toilet flappers, fill valves, and visible supply lines. Step 3. If that leak is still playing hide-and-seek behind a wall, under a floor, or in a drainage run, it is time to contact a licensed professional. And honestly, bringing in a pro is sometimes the absolute smartest financial move you can make. Leak detection specialists and licensed plumbers have these highly specialized tools to locate hidden issues without just wildly smashing into your drywall. This is a huge value because they can pinpoint exactly where the pipe is broken, saving you time and stopping contractors from tearing up perfectly good walls or floors in a guessing game.
And let's be real about the stakes here. Thousands. By reading your water bill carefully and actually doing these quick verification steps, you can catch hidden leaks early before they destroy your property or waste thousands of gallons of water. And, those thousands of wasted gallons directly translate to thousands of dollars washed right down the drain.
To wrap up our investigation today, this quote perfectly hits the nail on the head. Combine your bill review with a meter check and targeted inspections. That right there is your complete detective's methodology for protecting your property. It makes sure you have accurate, verified facts to hand over to a plumber if the issue isn't something you can just quickly fix yourself.
Which leaves us with one final and honestly pretty urgent question for you to think about today. Is your home secretly hiding a leak right now? Seriously, don't wait for the next shocking bill to hit your mailbox. Take 10 minutes today, turn off your fixtures, and go look at your meter. You might just save yourself thousands. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy sleuthing.